Thank you. I have so much to say, but only 4 minutes to say it. But what I decided to do was to take one word that I think really explains what Calvin Murphy has always been about. Now, I've got to slow down because if you know me, when I get excited or I get nervous, I have a tendency to talk rather quickly. But I want you to get a flavor of what I'm going to say this evening because it's very important to me. That word that I'm going to speak about is called sacrifice. Now, I'm not talking about the sacrifice of what Calvin Murphy did for Calvin Murphy. I'm talking about the sacrifice that everyone around Calvin Murphy did for Calvin Murphy. That's what's important to me. The sacrificing, for instance, of a mother that would, regardless of what she didn't have, she always made sure that I had. Even though it brought upon hardships from time to time, I never was different from the other kids. And I knew that this, from time to time, put Mom in a situation where she had to make up that little bit of money the next day. Sacrificing. Sacrificing of your brothers that have been just as talented as you, but fell just a little short from their dream, but never neglected to back and support you when things were going in your direction. Family that understood when things weren't great, that supported, and was there for you. These are the sacrifices that make people who they are. Then you talk about the sacrificing of coaches. I was fortunate. I had coaches that sacrificed for me more than they know that I knew. Coaches that put their jobs on the line to let Calvin Murphy be Calvin Murphy. If it meant playing with my shirt outside my pants, or being very temperamental, whatever it was that made Calvin Murphy successful, they allowed me to do. Sacrificing is the key. The teammates that I've been fortunate enough to play with, talented individuals that took a back seat even though they themselves deserved the limelight as I did, but never once complained to the level of hindering my career. A university that took me into their hearts, that built a program around me, sacrificed to give me an opportunity to go forth and be something in life other than an athlete, showing me a direction. Let's not even begin to mention a franchise that when I was too small to play basketball, sacrificed a lot of time and money to give me a chance to come out and prove that the average size of small basketball player has a place in the game. And then when they see their star stumble just a little bit, reach out, grab him, and bring him back to the fold and put him up in front so he can glitter again. Sacrificing is the key. And then finally, you talk about your friends and fans that have been with you through good and bad, that have been with every jump shot, every layup, every assist, that see you now when they talk about the days back in 1932 December when they saw you play and what it meant to them. They've all sacrificed to bring a person like Calvin Murphy before the world as being inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. And when you finally get an opportunity to come before the world and to express yourself, it's very difficult, of course, not to get emotional, especially if you're a very emotional person. But I just want to tell you briefly a story that will explain this weekend for me. I was given a gift by you, my new friend that I've dearly come to have great admiration for. This ring that I'm wearing on my finger simply says that she respects me as a man and well as an athlete. She saw me do a clinic for youngsters, and she gave me the greatest accolade by inviting me to come to her country and work with her youngsters. This is what this weekend is all about, newfound friendships. And finally, I want to say to my family that traveled so far to be with me today in Houston, and people from the Houston Rockets, and my family that come from all over the country, and there's a lot of Murphys. I want to say, and especially to Mom, which she asked me on February 8th when the announcement was made, when are we going to be inducted? Well, Mom, I say to you, that day is here. And the last thing I'm going to say before I move the program along, because I've been truly blessed. Thank you.